Hello, welcome to Wisdom Hour today. I have some very interesting questions that I'm going to muscle test for you today. And I just would like to say welcome to any of you watching who come on now or who come on later. And please feel free to share this post. There are many people out there suffering and they don't know where to turn, or they feel they can't afford to see somebody and that kind of thing. So this is one way that they can get a little bit of help. Excuse me, I have a bit of a frog in my throat today. A little bit of help or a little bit of new perspective on something they may feel really stuck about or don't know where on earth to turn to. So, you know, please do, if you know people like that, just give them the link to put a question in, because it doesn't cost them anything. They can be anonymous. I do ask for an email address. I don't look at them. They just go onto a list somewhere, and I think you get a newsletter if I ever do one. Do you know? But honest to God, I'm not interested, because all I'm interested in is helping, and often your question is one that other people are struggling with as well. And sometimes your answer can really help other people. So that's why I do it like this, publicly. And I ask you to be generous too, and share, like and share, and you know, get it out there a little bit more for others. So the first question I have today here: is there anything I can do other than the physical exercises that he has been given to help my son's muscle tone? It's really holding him back. Now this question is about a child, you know, who is suffering from a certain, I suppose, way of being in the world, and you know, there are a lot of children suffering with dyspraxia and different types of muscular disabilities, I suppose you could say. So I'm hoping this may help other people who have children or even adults who are having issues with muscles that just don't seem to want to work together. Okay. The goal I tested for this was to know how to get my son's muscles to cooperate. Okay, that's what came up around this. So this body's happy to muscle test. Give me a yes, give me a no. He's happy for me to come in or for him to come in. Who? Her, him. Okay, he's happy. Alright. So we want to work with 1, 2, 3 or 4 receptive or expressive. What's right, draws. Oh, I just need to grab a little couple of cards for this child. My little Inner Wise first aid kit. Little energy cards, they are. They're terrific for kids, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And any kind of emergency situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where you just think, oh my God, what can I do? I need to hold them, I need to put them in, I'm going to put these in front of me. You see, they're just like that. They're just little energy cards. But they work with sacred geometry and numerology and all sorts of really cool things that come together by Dr. Uwe Albrecht. He's a medical doctor. So, right, we want to... She wants to look at these, hold them, look at one of them. Okay, which one? What's a message from one of these? This one, this one, this one, this one. Oh, it's the last one. Okay, 88. Oh Jesus, where's the... There it is. There it is, 88. What does 88 say? The Raven. Okay. Shift in consciousness. Is it all of it that she wants? Mum. It's Mum that's asking, so I'm sort of addressing Mum, but we've been going into the son's energy field to see what's required. Okay, is that right? Yeah. So is it the shift in consciousness? All the rest of it? All the rest of it. Okay. So it says shift in consciousness. When you are ready, find the courage to go into the unknown. Recognize the power of the unknown without investigating where it comes from or trying to understand it. Now, what on earth does this mean in this context? Let's see. Your son won't get better in terms of his muscular function until he gets prayer to help him overcome the pain that he is carrying for past generations. Oh dear. This child is very sensitive, and he won't know how to use his muscles properly until this great emotional load is removed from him. This has come down to him genetically, and it is his burden at the moment, and it presents itself as a as an event which prohibits his muscles from communicating together, and by his what is it, L-A? What does that mean? Can you give me a translation, please? It's child stuff, yeah? And his loving understanding doesn't allow him to let go of this burden, because he views the world through the lens of I am everyone. And in this way he is quite advanced, but this causes him problems in a world where pain is rampant. Pain is rampant, and he picks up on it all. So he is carrying many burdens that come from being around people who are in pain and who don't acknowledge their pain. And so he picks it up, or from his past genetic history, which presents all of the unresolved pain from the generations before him. This doesn't make him feel sick, if you like, every day or anything like that, but it presents in the muscles not being able to prioritize their energy for communication. Whew. In every cell, a great, no, a GR. No, what is it? A GR. Oh, it's child again, is it? Sorry, can you keep it in adult speak, please? Just so that we can keep moving. I've lost it now. I've lost it. I'll start again. His general outlook and ability to pick up on everyone's emotions is a great gift, but it has its drawbacks and difficulties, and these are associated with his challenges with movement and with his speech difficulties when overloaded with this type of strain. So, the best thing you can do for this child, for his movement, is to recognize that being around stressed or people who suppress their pain doesn't help him. And also, his history that he carries won't shift unless some deep spiritual work is done within the family line. And this can be done by you, but you will need help. Anything else? Okay, so, that's really interesting, isn't it? So I hope that helps Mum, help this wee man, you know. There are these really gifted children turning up on our planet, and for a lot of people, they look at them and they go, oh, they've got this problem and that problem, so they're not perfect, you know. But actually, they've come to really wake us up in many, many ways. So they're actually quite gifted in many ways. Isn't that exciting? So, right, the next question. I've finished with an ex. So I think it was 2.5 years ago. I can't read my writing, sorry. 2.5 or 3.5 years ago. No, something like that. But this, another, yeah. I finished with a relationship. Sorry. But an ex that I finished with years ago wants to get back with me. I still care for him, but not sure if I'm in love with him anymore. Our relationship of 7 years didn't go very well. Okay, I hope that made sense, guys. It's just I scribbled down because I find I can't do it on the screen while I'm doing it. Me and technology. Okay, so, happy to work with this. Give me a yes, give me a no. We're going to work with 1, 2, 3 or 4. She wants resource, respect your balance, day life, activity, environment. Language says to self, says to others, a question, a statement, an I statement, a you statement. You can't be the person you want to be if you escape into past comforts every time you are challenged in life. Your real challenge is to step into the current challenges you have, which you mentioned in your preamble to this question. That is, getting your work life sorted and getting a place to live outside of the family home. These issues of independence are necessary for you to develop and to create a sense of independence and competence. When you carry these senses of independence and competence into a relationship, it will have far more chance of being healthy and of being present instead of it getting you what you need in your eyes, which is company and security and a place to stay that is outside of the family home. Your reasons for wanting to go back to this relationship are doing you no favors. And when you realize that, you will have the answer to your question. Your decision is, of course, yours, and of course, if you enter a relationship, it doesn't mean you can't leave it again, but if you do this, do it with mindfulness that you need to create these senses of independence and competence in your life, and these will not come through what here? Through preventing, through and these will not come through prioritizing being in a romantic relationship. Okay, that's what it says. I hope that helps to clarify some things. So even what I would take from that is, even if you do decide to get back into that relationship, don't use that as a distraction from working on the things that you need to do to develop yourself personally. And that's only going to make you a better partner. Yeah, a better partner. So, okay. The next one. Oh, I'm sorry. I did actually, that's probably what got a bit confused there. I did actually muscle test a goal for that, and I'll just tell you what it was. Did we stay within the goal? We did. To know how to present my fears of staying on my own to my higher self. So that's what the goal was there, about, fears of staying on my own. Now, the next one, I'm an awesome, open, connected woman. How can I align my energy to connect with a similar guy? Okay, so the goal that I did was to stay entered into a relationship with myself that generates generous energy. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so it got very dark in there. I'm just going to put some lights on. Just clouds come over all of a sudden, you know how it goes. Is that a bit better? I don't know, I'm not sure actually. Oh well, anyway, that's what we've got. Yeah, so let's see what we get for this. She's happy for me to come into the field. Give me a yes, give me a no. Okay, I want to work with one. She wants to read something that I've got here, something she's got there. Is it like reading a book or something like that? No. Okay, so when you watch this, the person who put this in, please get your child. So it's saying this is about some childhood stuff for you, okay? So get your, and what is it? Is it something actual? She wants to have a sniff. Yeah, okay. Get your old shoes out, any old pair, and have a sniff in them. Oh dear. Okay. Don't do it for long, just a quick sniff will do. Sorry, but that's what it's saying, okay? This will remind you of a past time when you felt very alone, and you will think of a time in your childhood when you felt very rejected. This is unpleasant, and we're sorry to get you to do this, but your goal of wanting to to meet a man who reflects you won't be satisfying unless you address this. It's because you don't recognize a lot of your programming that is outside of your awareness, and this keeps you from prioritizing doing some deep work on yourself. You don't recognize these things in yourself at all, and they are tripping you up. Your desire to be in a relationship with a man that reflects you will reflect all of the unconscious pain that you carry. And so, to be in a fulfilling and wonderful relationship, you must go back to heal this pain and present yourself as a whole person to a prospective partner. This old pain doesn't get you upset every day, but it gets you to engage with the world at a certain frequency. And this frequency doesn't align with your desires. When you can clear and process your childhood grief and pain that got suppressed, you will be more able to emit the type of frequency you want to put out there. And this is the generous energy we are talking about in your goal. This generous energy isn't what? Isn't greeted with great dislike or with energy that is painful, or energy that is worried about the relationship. Instead, it generates an energy which is full of trust and great expectations and positive worldview. Sorry, it seems to be very slow. I seem to be very slow coming through today. I'm sorry. Anything else about this? Yes, so it sounds like, you know, you have stuff that's completely outside of your awareness. You're not aware of it in yourself, and it's putting up some barriers for you. Either that, or you know, or it's what you're getting is a reflection of what's really going on that you're not aware of. Okay, so says there, you know, maybe a bit of work to do with someone to uncover that unconscious stuff that's driving you, or you know, resulting in you putting out a kind of a frequency that you don't want. Yeah. Okay. Hi, ladies. Nice to see you. So the next one. I've been reminded of geopathic stress under my home. How can I clear my home of this geopathic stress and toxic energy? And the goal I got for this was to know how to clear the geopathic stress and toxic energy. Yeah, okay, just basically that, yeah. This goal's positive, active, clear, energetic. Give me a yes, give me a no. Okay, so you can clear this energy by moving, or by placing the whole home into the hands of a shamanic practitioner who knows how to deal with these earthly problematic energies. This is your best bet if you want to remain in this house, and this clearing will take some time, but you can find someone local if you research shamanic practitioners. They are trained in this sort of thing and can help you to to place the energy that is running under your home into a great void, where it can be reabsorbed back into the earth. As for other toxic energies in your home, we presume you are talking about the energy left over from fears and worries and other problems that have happened in the home. This is a different matter, and it can also be cleared by using a shamanic practitioner, but you can also work on this yourself. You can get your you can get your practice of meditation going, and while you do this, create a loving flow of energy for your home and for everyone who has been in it and who will be in it. You can meditate on this through the heart chakra and imagine this filling the home with a wonderful loving energy that can dissipate the heavier energies that may be around. You can, of course, always smudge with dried sage, or also burn essential oils that uplift and cleanse, and also give your house a thorough clean and get rid of any clutter. This only hangs on to old energy which you don't want. Clean and clear everything so that you can allow space for positive energy to come in. When you engage a shamanic practitioner, it is best if you do this before they start working, as it will make the work easier and not take so much time, and also it will place the energy in a freer environment to be moved without being hindered by the stickiness of old things and old memories associated with them. That's it. All right. Shamanic practitioner for you. Might be helpful. Okay. I am living with a friend and I feel awful a lot of the time. I'm either annoyed by her or annoyed at myself. I'm not sure which, is basically what she said. Is it me that I don't like, or my feelings, or do I just not really like my friend? Or am I being triggered by something else all the time? Okay, so the goal I got here was to be grateful, to stay grateful for my friend. Hello, ladies. To stay grateful for my friend. Okay, can you yes? Oh, we're reversed. Okay, we need to do something. She's reversed. I'm reversed. She's reversed. Does she need something here? Okay, so when I get, when I ask for a yes and I get a no, and vice versa, I know that there's something, there's a little sabotage going on somewhere, and I have to check myself, which I just did, and I have to check the other person, because otherwise we'll get really wonky answers that won't make any sense at all. Well, that'll be all back to front. So I always have to check that first, you know, whether, and also get permission to go in. She's happy for me to come in, isn't she? Yeah. And of course, I take it that somebody sending me a question is automatically giving me permission to come into their energy field. But I do sometimes check, just in case they sort of haven't got the idea of what I'm doing. So, okay, so what does she want? What is it about this? This is something about her reversal. Okay, does she need to hear it? No, I just need to watch, show it to her. Okay, if you're watching, lady who's having a problem with her friend, just want you to have a look at that. Oh, it says $2.99 anyway. $2.99. $2.99. Do we need to read about it? No. Something else you have to do. She. Also, you need to give yourself a glass of water and get still and start breathing deeply while you watch this. Anything else? Okay, so, you know, really, if you want to get the best out of this, I really suggest you do that, because I don't make this stuff up. This is coming from your very wise self. It's saying what you need to do to change the sabotage you have around this. So, otherwise, I presume what will happen, if you don't do that stuff, is you will either just listen to this and go, oh, that's just rubbish, or, you know what I mean, you'll have a sabotage about it, or you just will ignore it, or nothing will happen, or, you know what I mean. So just do it, you know, because if you really do want to get to the bottom of it. Okay? Anything else we need to do? Something else for her. You also need to stop feeling like all advice is not worth listening to. Oh, okay. This is a common issue with people who have done lots of training or are practitioners, and they get a sense that they know it all. This is a huge danger to their work and also to their own personal development. It is vital that when seeking help, one is prepared to not only listen, but to put their body of knowledge aside and get clear that they may not know as much as they think they do. Okay. Right, anything else that she needs to think about? Okay, so those are the things it's saying that you need to sort of think about and address. So maybe do that, pause it, and then listen. Okay, can we move forward now? Give me a yes, give me a no. We can do this for her. Okay, so for those of you who are just coming in now, this person is living with a friend, and just to summarise really, she says she gets annoyed with this person all the time. She's not sure if it's her own stuff, or whether she just doesn't like this person, or she's been triggered by something all the time. Okay? You are being triggered by your own general overwhelming past. this past is getting you stuck in an energy which is critical and practically difficult to penetrate. This is why we asked you to do these exercises before watching this and listening. This critical part of you takes over, and it doesn't allow for anything to get in except your own justifications and energy for justification and QU. It's a long word. And quickening anger. This critical part of you comes from a long time ago when you wouldn't understand a great lesson that was placed in front of you, and instead you made a decision at some level to get sure in all circumstances that you were in the right and everyone else is in the wrong. This has been of great disservice to you because you are a loving and generous person, but this unknown part of yourself is truly hindering you. You will find that when you unpack this and work on it and process it, you will find that your sense of purpose, your sense of prioritizing, your sense of priorities will change remarkably. You will be uninterested in judging others, and you will be very interested in how you are responding from a place of love and understanding. That is some way off for you, but your query about this is a good start. And if you truly open your mind and heart and listen to this, you will know it is the truth and you have work to do. This work won't be painful or even difficult, but you need someone to help you through it because you aren't aware of most of what's going on about this. Like everyone, we have our shadow side, and this side is completely out of our view. And until we can work with this shadow part and bring it into the light, it will project itself onto others and make others look generally bad or annoying or frustrating or upsetting, and so on. Anything else? That's it. That's it for that one. Okay. So what was it saying about being grateful for my friend then? Because it said the goal was to stay grateful for my friend. I'm going to see what that meant, because I'm curious how that relates. You can be very grateful to this friend who has opened you up to seek this help. She hasn't done anything to get you annoyed actually, but your annoyance and general wondering about it has led you to a door which can open for you for healing. So be very grateful to this friend of yours who has reflected back to you what is troubling you. You were right in part of your summary in that, yes, it is you and you do need help, but you are a good and wonderful woman, so don't get upset about what you have heard. Instead, act on it to make your life better. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, the next one. Ooh, moving on. I'm in a wonderful, loving relationship, but strangely, we are both experiencing the same aches and pains. Are we sharing each other's energy? If so, why? And how do we stop it? Interesting, isn't it? Oh, did I do a goal for this one? I did. To get my partners, and it said this was to do with our childhood stuff, by the way, on both sides? On both sides, yeah. Childhood stuff on both sides. To get my partner's childhood energy about pain, or childhood pain if you like, gently detached from my own. Okay. So yes, it does sound like you're kind of picking up each other's energy and reflecting it back and forth. Is this right? It is. Yes, it is happening. Okay. How do you feel about your past in terms of your childhood? When you get these pains, try to relate them to the issues of your childhood. For example, a pain in your ear would probably mean something like, I don't want to hear this. This is very distressing for me to hear, and so on. Or a pain in your gut is probably saying about your childhood, my ability to swallow this is getting harder and harder. I can't take this anymore. Okay? Anything else? So think of your pains in those ways and ask yourself how you can place your inner child with your parent self and give her what she needs. This doesn't mean you have to go back in time. Full stop. Instead, stay in the present, but give her what she needed then. Do it now and see if it brings any relief, and get this little child what she needed but wasn't given. So, for example, you can imagine her in front of you, and if you need to, put her on your lap or put your arms around her to make her feel secure and safe and loved, and ask her how she is and talk with her and get her to express, get her to express anything she needs to express, and simply reparent her through this in a very loving and gentle way. This is a simple exercise that you both can do, preferably on your own, as it will get confusing if you try and do it in each other's presence. You are indeed picking up on each other's childhood pain and energy, and when you are doing this, you are amplifying it for each other. So it is not healthy and doesn't help with your pain. So try this exercise and, try this exercise, full stop. Also, get some help with working through your childhood pain if you can. That's it. All right, that is it. Okay, so just summing up now. Those are the questions for today, and as I say, this process is about entering your energy field and working with your very wise and intelligent self. I don't have an opinion, to be honest, because I truly believe, and I've seen it in my life, that what is right for me is not necessarily right for somebody else. And so I would never make those calls, from my opinion. It's not about my opinion at all, actually. And sometimes even I'm shocked at what comes through, and I'm like, oh, that's a bit harsh. I thought like one of them there was like quite sort of, wagging the finger a little bit. But I guess because it's coming from that person, maybe that's what they require. I don't know. I always say to people, when these things come for them, obviously, make your own decisions. If it's helpful, yay, great, I'm delighted. If you think it's not helpful, it's a load of rubbish, whatever, listen, that's okay. You don't have to watch it again, and nobody knows who it is, so just let it go, I don't profess to be perfect at this. I'm just doing my best to help, and I hope it's taken in that spirit. And once again, if you have come onto this and you do find that you need someone to do a bit more work with, you can do a free half-hour session with me. I'll put the link. Is it a link? Oh no, you'll see it on my website actually. I'll put up my website. If you've already done a free half-hour session with me online, you can't do another one. I'm sorry. You have to come and book in and pay. But anyone can avail of one free half-hour online session with me if you want to follow up and do some work on what has been talked about here. And then I always try and make, if there is further work that you feel needs to be done, I always try and make it affordable for you, The online facility is working really well, and that sometimes people who have got busy jobs and they've got kids and they've got, a sick mother and all the rest of it, they just find it so much easier than having to, sometimes some people have travelled to me for 3.5 hours, and I just think, wow, this is great. Now we can do it online and still get answers and get a process going for people. So it's fantastic that way in terms of helping very, very busy people who otherwise think that they just don't have the time. And my half-hour sessions that are paid are very, very reasonable. But I do ask people to book in. If they do those, we normally do a package of those because normally one isn't enough, So, but the first one, as I say, is free if you haven't done a free one with me before. So that's it. That's all I've got time for, and I've got to get myself ready for my lovely client who's coming to see me. So I'm going to have a little drink of water. Look after yourselves. Thanks for showing up, ladies. I don't know whether to name you or not. I won't, because, just in case you don't want your names being spoken about here. And some of you, haven't put up, well, some of you I don't know if you've put up questions or not. You might just be here out of interest. I had no idea. So I always feel a little bit awkward around that whole thing, but that's why I just sort of choose not to sort of use names. Anyway, take care, look after yourselves, and come and join my group if you're a lady, Wonderful Woman's Wisdom, where you can get support from other ladies as well. That's nice. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Take care, bye.